Hey everybody, Rich Lovell with the Vacaville Baseball Barn, Master Instructor with Epstein Hitting System and Online Hitting Academy. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe, hit the notifications button for future videos, and if you like the video, share it with all your friends, coaches, and parents. So I want to talk a little bit about, really it's about explaining things when you're talking to a player and their hitting and so forth. And primarily what I'm going to discuss today, but it applies to everything that we teach as far as how to say it, is do I fall into my front side? Let's say, for example, in my launch position, do I fall into my front side or do I fall away from my backside? Means the same thing, but to a player, it might make a world of difference. For example, I'll tell some players to, hey, I want your front shoulder down. And it just doesn't click. They keep falling on the front shoulder, and I go, listen, I want to keep your back shoulder above your front shoulder. Well, it's the same with, do I tell a player to, hey, fall into your front side, like favorite food's out in front of you here, and there's a plate there, and you're going to fall until your front foot lands on the ground. Then your head's going to stabilize over the center part of your body, and then I'm here. Or if that player just keeps reaching out and stepping, I get away from, hey, we're going to take a step, or we're going to fall on our front side, and then I'll tell them, listen, think of it this way. As you load back into your back hip here, as you load back into here, just pick your front foot up and feel like you're falling away from your backside. And that tends to work. So if I get players that falling into their front side doesn't work, I'll switch back here and say, just fall away from your backside. Imagine there's a wall right here behind you, up to your hip, and all I'm trying to do is create a little space from the hip to the wall. All right, my foot's going to stay there until after I swing, obviously. Or if that doesn't really make a lot of sense to the hitter, then I'll tell them, imagine there's a wall right up here where your front foot should land. As you land here, we're just going to think it gets right in beside the knee, and I fall into my front side, and then from here, that's where the rest of the swing begins. Any way that you can explain it that the hitter goes, oh, that makes sense to me, is right. As long as you're staying with your fundamentals of your swing, however you explain it to them, it's right. As long as they understand it. And they can go, yeah, this is, and then they can show you what you're talking about and they can explain it back to you. To me, that's really important as well, that the player understands it, then they can explain it back to me so that when they're working on it at home, they can pick up those little differences or nuances and say, oh, that felt better than this. So, what we're really talking about here is just trying to get a player to understand what you're talking about. And there's more than one way to explain it. And as instructors, that's what we have to do. Find a way that the player understands it. Hopefully that helps you. If it does, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, share it with all your friends, and hit the notifications button for future videos.